everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to get some more bookings in your calendar. This is especially great if you're a new consultant just getting started with getting bookings. But if you're a seasoned consultant who just wants to add some bookings to their calendar, this works really well for you too. The first question that you're going to want to ask yourself is, who should I ask? And I want to encourage you to not have limiting beliefs about who you're able to ask. For instance, even if it's someone who you might not know all that well, you just never know unless you ask. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is not be afraid to ask men. I want you to feel really comfortable reaching out to men to do this because 50% of households have the men cooking. So you never know unless you ask. So definitely reach out to, don't skip over the guys, okay? Because a lot of times they love Pampered Chef just as much. What I like to do whenever I'm going to look for parties is I like to go to my Facebook friends list. My parties are mostly on Facebook, so it just makes sense to go here first. And you're gonna want to go to your friends list on your profile page. And when you go here, you want to select all friends, and then you can search in the search bar based on letters, right? I want you to type in the letter A first. And I want you to go through that whole list of folks that pop up under A. Sometimes their name starts with A, sometimes it doesn't start with A. But either way, go ahead and just start with them. And then when you work your way through that list, go ahead and remove the A from the search bar and type in B. And then you're going to pop up a bunch of other people that you can reach out and ask. So from here, you should really get enough to get bookings in your calendar. I find that some people, it's different for everyone. Some people get 1 in 10. So for every 10 people they ask, they get a yes, which is great. And some people even get up to 3 for every 10 people they ask, which is amazing. So if you're getting 3, that's amazing. If you're getting 1, that's still great. If you don't get any with the first 10, just keep going until you get enough bookings to fill up your calendar. So let's talk about what to say. The biggest mistake people make when they go and do reach out messages is they make their messages way too long. You don't want to make them read a whole story where they actually have to scroll to see your entire message. So I'm going to recommend that you keep it really short and sweet. And I'm going to read off what I send for mine. You can tweak this, of course. I actually recommend tweaking it maybe just a little bit to make it sound like it's from you, authentically coming from you. I would say something like this. Hey Susie, Pampered Chef just launched their new fall products and I'm really excited to share recipes for meals in 20 minutes and other tips. What are your thoughts on hosting a quick and easy party? So really short and sweet, I'm showing the value of what's going to be in the party by sharing that I have quick and easy recipes. And then I intrigued them by saying there's new products that came out this fall. So obviously if you're doing this in the spring, that's not going to work. You're going to say maybe some new spring products, some new summer products. Or maybe say something like, we have a really great guest special, or I have some great recipes to share. Just something that's going to hook them and be interested in the content of the party that you're offering. If you're a new consultant, you're going to want to use different wording because people might not even know that you're a Pampered Chef consultant. So use this booking word flow chart to help kind of get those conversations going. So you're going to notice at the top of this, it says, hi, Susie. I hope you're well. I'm a brand new Pampered Chef consultant, and I'm really excited to offer parties. They will have recipes, games, cooking tips, and our coveted products. Would you be willing to be one of my first hosts? I promise it's easy and fun. So if they say yes, you're going to say, awesome, thank you. I'd like to start it on whatever week you're trying to fill. Would that work for you? If they say no, you can say, thank you for your honesty. Is that a no, not now, or a no, not ever? And if you're a current consultant, I recommend doing this also. And so take a screenshot of this, and that way you'll know what to say whenever this comes up. It's totally normal to have people who don't respond. Now, there's a really great method that I use to reach out one more time and see if they respond that way, because most of the time the reason that they haven't replied is because maybe they were looking at your message while they were in the grocery store line or at a red light or something like that, and they weren't able to respond, or they needed some time to think about it. They threw their phone in their purse and then they just forgot to reach out to you. I know that you've done that with messages. I've done that with messages. So we're going to assume that that is what happened. So we're going to reach out one more time with something really easy. And I like to throw in a free bread mix when they respond after this message. But this part is totally optional. I do think it increases my results. So let me read you what I send for this circle back message. I know people get busy and don't get a chance to respond, so I wanted to check back. Please let me know either way. I don't want to be a nag or bug to you. When you say yes to hosting, I'll sweeten the deal and treat you with a bag of caramel latte bread. What do you think? Of course, you're going to get folks who aren't interested in hosting a party, and it can feel a little like a pain point in your heart. But I just want to encourage you. Not everyone is interested in hosting a Pampered Chef party. I know, they're really fun. They get all these great goodies, but it's just not for everyone. So what do you say to someone who says no or no thank you? Well, I'm going to encourage you to say, if it's a no or no thank you, I'm going to encourage you to welcome them into your VIP group. And I say something like this. Hey, Susie, I totally get that hosting is not everyone's thing. I hope I can welcome you into my VIP group where I share a lot of cooking inspiration. Here's the link to hop in. So that is just going to be a really great way to keep them in your funnel, keep them with your business. Maybe, who knows, down the road, they might be more interested. But people are happy to join your Facebook group, and especially if they know they're going to be getting a lot of great content out of it. And so the second part of that is to make sure you're keeping up with your VIP group, right? You want to be posting in there and sharing information to help keep it really helpful for them and make it something that's intriguing. Sometimes you're going to get a response like, it's just a busy time right now, or I don't know a lot of people, or, right? I call this a booking objection. They say no, but there's something behind the no that is giving you a specific reason. You can take this opportunity to respond and maybe encourage them to book with you anyway. So if they say something like, I just don't have the time, you can say something like, I am very busy also, and I make this a really quick and easy process for my host. It takes no more than 10 minutes a day. Does that help? Does that change things? Or if not, I totally understand. I can follow up later this year to see what they say. If they say something like, no, I just don't have enough friends, you can say something like, well, if you're worried about the success of the party, if you're worried about it not doing well, I want to assure you that even small parties are really fun and worthwhile. So why don't we give it a shot? And if it doesn't do as well as you want it to, I'll still give you a great gift and a 10% discount for an entire year for working with me. And if you have any trouble with this, if you're getting these booking objections and you're not sure how to respond, I'm going to recommend that you screenshot that conversation and send it to your director with some help on how to respond to those booking objections. And we will help you. We will tell you what we would say in that scenario, because it is a little bit more of a nuanced conversation. One of the most important steps to getting bookings, whether they're inside a party or outside a party, is going to be to track your results. So you can use, I actually use an app on my iPad to do this, but all you need is a little notebook to do this. And what you want to do is every time you reach out to someone about hosting a party, you're going to want to keep a list of what this looks like. And I'm going to show you just how I do this. So basically, you make your list of who you just sent messages out to. I recommend not looking at the responses until you've sent out the amount of messages that you planned on sending out that day. My recommendation is to send out 20 messages a session. And then I'll go back the next day and do my circle back messages where for anyone who may not have responded. I'll also take this time to make sure that I've accurately recorded all of the information. So maybe they didn't respond to me right then, but they responded to me while I was at a doctor's appointment or something. I didn't get a chance to write it down in my notebook. So the next day I'll just go through and fill this in, send out any follow-up messages, and just make sure this is kind of up to date. you can also do another round of 20 messages. It's just depending on what your goals are for your business. Tracking is critical for doing this, because a lot of times you're going to get way more no's than you get yeses. And it can feel really stressful, and it can make you feel like no one is saying yes. All you're thinking about is all the people that have said no, and people get really discouraged. Tracking tells you the actual story. So a lot of times when I reach out to 20 people, I'll get 2 to 3 yeses, 6 check in with me laters. Some people totally ignore my messages, and then I get a couple of maybes or no's. And I can guarantee you that those 2 and 3 yeses do not feel as heavy on my heart as the no's do. And so having it on paper where I can see it and see the actual, what's actually happening with my business is really, really important. Also, this helps me stay organized on who to ask. So a lot of times, like if I put here, I'll say something like, reached out to A's on my Facebook list, or reached out to the people from Ashley's party, or something like that. So I know who I reached out to, where I got those people, and things like that. Because you're going to use the same method for when you ask people from within a party. So I wanted to share with you what tracking really looks like when you're doing it in a notebook, a piece of notebook paper. You can use, like if you have an app taking or a note taking app on your iPad, that's what I use. But so you definitely want to put the date down here, and then you're going to want to put where you search for your party. So like if you're just getting started, it's probably going to be searching A in your Facebook friends, right? And so you want to write down 20, and you want to don't stop until you get to at least 20. And then with everyone you ask gets written down on the list. And like I said, you don't want to look at your responses until you get through all 20 of them. So I'm going to show you how I would mark this as I get responses. So when someone says yes, I obviously am going to put like a little check mark, and then I'm going to put the date of their party. So let's say they agreed to start their party September 30th or something. Awesome. If they say no or no thank you, I'm just going to write an X next to their name. If they say that they're thinking about it, so if they said that they want to think about it, take some time to think about it, I'm going to write down a question mark and just say something like, I'll check back on Monday. And then if they don't respond at all, my dog is sitting here. She like wants some love. Hi, Chloe. Anyway, so if Addison didn't respond at all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in with her the next day, and I like to put a little circle here once I've done that. So I go through my list, and I'll do like the checks and the X's and the question marks. And then the next day, I'll go in and do my follow-up messages and mark them with a circle so that I know that I did reach back and circle back with that message. Sorry, this like will not focus. And then if they say yes after a follow-up, I will put the check, and then I might say something like, put the caramel bread mix. Right? So this just gives me an opportunity to just take notes on what's going on. Let's say you get someone who says, yes, I'd really like to do a party, but I can't do one until November. Can you check back with me later? I don't know if I can do one in November, but I want you to follow up with me. I'll just put a little arrow here and just put November, and then I'll know that I need to go back in November and follow up with them about doing a party. So, and a lot of times these people will book with you if you follow up with them. So really, really good. So go through your list of 20. The next day, go back and do your circle backs, and then make sure that everything was recorded from, like if they responded and you didn't have a chance to write it down, you're gonna wanna do that. And like I said, this is just really going to help you see the big picture on what's going on with your business. The other thing this does is it helps us know what's going on. So if you come to us and you say, I don't feel like I'm getting as many bookings as I should be, we can look at your list, see who you've been asking, see how many people are saying yes, and make a recommendation on what we're noticing from what you're doing. So tracking is just critical. Please, please do it. I promise it's worth the extra step. I hope this video was really helpful, and I want to encourage you to not give up with this. Some people get discouraged by having no's. They're not saying no to you, they're just saying no to hosting. And we only want to work with people who are really excited to host a party with you. And I promise you, there are hosts out there. So we just need to keep looking for them and they will appear. And the people who are in your parties are way more likely to book with you than people outside of a party. So we're going to get a ton of bookings that way too. So look out for that video that is coming up. I will be posting on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like this video so it knows to recommend it for you. And I will see you guys next time. Good luck getting your bookings. If you have any great tips, I would love to hear them. And if you have any questions or anything else that you would like to see on the channel, please let me know down in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Bye.